Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here. Just a few thoughts on GE, but it actually applies to every stock there ever is. Any ticker actually, it doesn't have to be a stock. So it is clear that there is no expert on GE. I don't think even the company knows exactly what they're in. I'm sure they know the businesses that they're in, but I'm not sure what they're in for as far as the future holds, especially from the stock price perspective. So I hear experts, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, and here it is. This is a one-day yearly, so about 12 months worth of action. Yesterday had its worst day in umpteen years. Today, apparently they're saying it has its best day in umpteen years. It's up 9%. Okay, so how do you trade it? Who do you listen to? You don't listen to anybody. I don't listen to anybody. I trade the chart. And the price action, cover up the name, the price action is what it is, and it'll help you. So if yesterday you were hopeful and you bought calls, today would be the day to off them. Why? I'll show you why. If today you're looking to buy calls, today is not the day I would buy calls, and I'll show you why, and it's exactly the same reason. So this is a daily chart. It doesn't tell us much. Let me go to, 120. Okay, so that's closer to reality. So I'm going to zoom in. This is a 2-hour chart. I just broke up the day in increments. Okay, so this is, let's see here. The day starts somewhere on here. Okay, so obviously an up day. So why do I not buy the charts, buy calls right here until I see something? What I want to see is this. So this is not a coincidence. Look left. Okay, this is obviously the last level of defense, meaning this is the accident scene, if you will. So this is where it all fell apart just recently, hours ago. And now they're back to it. So whoever fought it here is likely to fight over again. So it'll create congestion. So there'll be resistance. That's why you don't just go down and slice right through. You have to fight over it normally. So I would want to see this tick down and then come back to here and take this and close above it and rally. Then I may ride it. So far, those who bought here, this is their exit point, lightens point, spread point. Like if I had calls, I'll probably sell calls against them shorter dated to be long for free. That's how I lock in profits. And this applies to all levels. So if it ever gets to here, same logic applies. So if it goes and breaks out and then fades, and it gets to here and you hear the CNBC folks, this is it for G, it's going to the moon. Well, maybe it is, but I'd like to see it clear this R2 level first. Okay, so R1, R2 on the 2-hour chart. Again, I can clearly state the same reasoning here. So it's not, they solved all the problems in GE. I doubt it. So I don't know who said what today, but that's probably the headline that caused this. Don't get faked out. It could be true, but there are some milestones to go through as a price. So what I do is I usually, if I'm interested in trading GE, I go in here and I'll set an alert. Add calls with a question mark. Even then, I'm not too sure about it. I'm just saying, I use GE as a trading vehicle, not an investment vehicle. I must have mistyped something here because it's gone. Usually it'll sit right there. So as soon as this price level crosses, it will tell me to chase it. It's there. Okay, I don't know why I don't see it. Regardless, so don't trade the headlines. Use the headlines, but trade the levels. So don't be a chaser. You'll end up buying calls from the people that had the calls down here and now they're selling them to you. You're buying their profits. It's great if it's above there. But until then, this zone to me is a resistance. It's not a clear starting point. It's a point of contention, and onus is on the bulls to prove that they can retake it and use it as forward support in order to remount that effort. There are many ones of these. So this is 2 hours, I said. Let's go to 30. Okay, so I could have argued the point here and here. So okay, now that we went to 30, it's important to, let's mark it up on 30. That this zone doesn't fail, because that was a scene of a crime, fail, and they retook it. Great job. Is it support? If not, they'll give it up. And if they do, this would be the next zone. Why? Because this was a similar argument right there. So this to go long and this to get out of longs. That would be my decision point as a stop loss on the get out of long statement. All right, Nick signing out. This applies to any chart, absolutely any chart. Let me see if I can prove it real quick. If not, I'll just make the video stop. Okay, Apple. So this morning it was death. It was going to zero pre-market. But guess what? It rebounded and went up 0.8%. So did you chase it here? If you did, then you chased your sentiment versus the actual trades, the levels that are there. This was clearly a level that is contention short term. This is a carrot. But not until now. If I want to trade it now, I'll set a trigger alert to maybe go long Apple here for a trade to try and catch that. But I need to see them break above this guy. And of course, below this guy here is another leg lower. Not calling for either. I like Apple from a long-term perspective. I don't like what the market is doing right here, exactly right here. So Nick signing out. Sellspreads@gmail.com if you have any questions.